So Wingless lining up for a start in heat number 1. And Tom Britton, Jason Pelliciotti, Kane Cuts, Memphis Knowles, Corey Wilson, Darren Humphrey, Blake Skerry and Ben Stockdale are your 8 starters in heat number 1. And on pole it will be Corey Wilson in the 71. We should be good to go in the next lap. So Corey Wilson in car number 71 will lead them away. We are going green next time around. So Corey Wilson is joined on the front row by Jason Pelliciotti, Ben Stockdale on row number 2 with the 7 of Tom Britton. Blake Skerry is on row number 3 with Darren Humphrey. Kane Cuts on row number 4. So 8 laps the journey, 8 cars on the racetrack. First of 6 wingless heats. This is race number 8. Yellow lights have gone out. Set for a start. Racing. Pelliciotti takes the early lead. Watch for Darren Humphrey in the 84 car to try and wind right round the outside. Tommy Britton's in there. Ben Stockdale's moved up to 4th place. And while I said look out for Darren Humphrey, he got balked and is back there in about 6th at this stage, as Blake Skerry is making the moves on the inside. Pelliciotti still leads. Blake Skerry in 2nd place, Britton 3rd, then Stockdale. We've got trouble, and 1 is upside down. Red lights will come on. In position. This is race number 8. And we are green. Down into turn number 1. Blake Skerry looking to the outside of Ben Stockdale. Tom Britton looking on the back end of Jason Pelliciotti. So Pelliciotti leads. Does he still lead? No. Tom Britton sneaks up the inside. Pelliciotti fights back on the outside, but Britton will lead. Stockdale is 3rd, Skerry 4th, Kane Cuts is next. And then back to the 84 of Darren Humphrey, and Corey Wilson rounds them out. Up into Palmer's corner. Well, Tom Britton, once he got to the lead, he's split the scene. Has a handy buffer over the rest of them as he moves into the back straight. Pelliciotti still in 2nd position. Out of Palmer's corner they come and into the main straight. Tom Britton leading this one nicely at this stage. He's got a huge lead all of a sudden over Pelliciotti. Skerry in 3rd. Stockdale runs wide. That may allow 1 or 2 cars through. Cuts and also Humphrey. And Stockdale goes back to 6th with just Corey Wilson behind him, and Corey's car not sounding too flash. Into the main straight, 2 to run for our race leader, Tom Britton. Won a heat race at the Motorplex last weekend, last Friday night in fact, and went on to finish 4th in the feature race. He's about to get the white flag here, has 1 to run. Blake Skerry in 2nd place, a pair of white cars in 3rd and 4th. The one on the outside is Pelliciotti. He's gone back 2 spots because Cuts got through, so too did Darren Humphrey. Back to Benny Stockdale. But first home will be Tom Britton, who wins his 5th heat race of the season. Back to Blake Skerry in 2nd place. 3rd across the line as we saw it was Kane Cuts in the 32. Darren Humphrey was 4th in 84, then Jason Pelliciotti in 63. Ben Stockdale was next. Corey Wilson in 71, and unfortunately Memphis Knowles went upside down and failed to complete lap number 2. 6. So Kurt McCain, pretty happy with that. As I said last week in Perth, he had 2/3 and 9th in the feature race, but the John Day Classic, he had 2 wins. That is actually his 6th heat race win of the season. Not doing too badly. Robbie Clark has stopped up there in Palmer's. They go back to the pits. Heat 3 coming up in just a moment as we move to race number 10. Follow this. All about set to go. We go green in car 3. Wasted no time. Matt Iwanow leads them down the main straight. Paul Green in 2nd place. Jordan Johnson in the all black colours is there in 3rd as they run down the back straight the first time. And it'll be close for the minor end of the prize, I would suspect, but car 3 is giving them a bit of a shellacking already. Has a big lead after 1 lap as we move into the back straight. It is all Matt Iwanow. Up into turn number 3 and 4 he comes into the main straight. Iwanow leads after lap number 2. Green, Johnson. As they head down the back straight. Oops! Trouble for Paul Green in 66. We've gone yellow. Over in turn number 2. And Matt Iwanow's 3-second lead is all gone. So Paul Green will go to the rear. So 37, Jordan Johnson will be 2nd, Jeff Underdown 3rd, Travis Armstrong, Warren Hunter, and Paul Green at the tail. We're going green next lap round. Stewart not wasting any time tonight. Here comes the restart. This is what I like to see. Straight back on with the business, no mucking around. We've gone green. And Matthew Iwanow will be first around the cone. Back then to Jordan Johnson. 77 of Jeff Underdown is next. Travis Armstrong, then Warren Hunter. And Paul Green has dropped off at the back of the field. So our race leader comes into the main straight. Will complete lap number 3. Running on rails is Matt Iwanow. Both he and also his brother have immaculate cars. Ran street stock last week at the Motorplex, and tonight back in the Wingless, and it's almost as if nothing had changed. Matt Iwanow comfortably out in front from Jordan Johnson. Travis Armstrong has made his way up to 3rd in the 6th. Jeff Underdown, Warren Hunter and Paul Green. That is the order as we come up now with 3 to go this time around. Matt Iwanow, your race leader. Last outing in Wingless back at the John Day Classic in November. He finished 2nd in both his heats and 2nd in the feature race. Well, he's going to break that drought because he's going to get a blue square beside his name on my matrix in a minute because he is a mile out in front. 2nd is up for dispute. Travis Armstrong and Jordan Johnson side by side now. Armstrong sneaks through on the inside, and back in 4th place is the 77 of Jeff Underdown. Paul Green and then Warren Hunter. White flag is out, 1 to run. And car 3, Matt Iwanow comfortably leads. Travis Armstrong next. Jordan Johnson. Back then to Jeff Underdown. But out in front and first to the checkered flag. Matt Iwanow cruises to victory. First time in car number 3. 2nd is Travis Armstrong in 6th. 3rd across the line will be the 37 of Jordan Johnson. 4th is 77, Jeff Underdown. Paul Green, 5th in 66. Warren Hunter was next in 194. And 22 did not start in the end. Matt Fitzgerald, as we saw, the car would not fire up. So car 3 takes the win. Row 2 on the outside. Corey Wilson sees them all. Pace car is supposed to be exiting stage left. Here it goes. Yellow lights are still on though. We're supposed to be going green. Here we go. Blake Iwanow will lead them into the main straight. 7 cars, 8 laps. Green on the racetrack. Sharp in second place. Kane Cuts in third. Blake Skerry goes back to fourth. Worrell is fifth. Ben Stockdale is sixth. And back to Corey Wilson at the rear of the field. Down the back straight they go, the opening lap here. And Blake Iwanow, the West Australian champion, leads as they come out of Palmer's Corner. 1 down and 7 laps to go. Back to Sharp in second place. Third place is Kane Cuts. Skerry trying to get through on the inside, can't do so. Track has dried off a wee bit in the last 15 minutes. Hasn't been any water applied. And back then to Worrell in fifth, Stockdale sixth. Now they come out of turn number 4. The West Australian champion is under pressure. Sharp in second place. Third place is the 32 of Kane Cuts. Fourth is Blake Skerry. Back in fifth, David Worrell, then Ben Stockdale, and last of the 7 cars is Corey Wilson. Out of Palmer's Corner as we lose David Worrell to the infield. Iwanow still leads. Second place is Brandon Sharp. A gap back in third place to Kane Cuts. Fourth is Skerry. And then back in fifth is Stockdale. And sixth is the 71 of Corey Wilson. Laps ticking by, halfway home in heat number 4. Car 1, Blake Iwanow leads. Sharp in second place. Cuts third. And in fourth place is Blake Skerry. No change in the order. Back to Benny Stockdale in fifth. And 71 71 Corey Wilson rounds them out. So no change, 3 to run. Getting a little dusty down in Cardinals Corner, turn 1 and 2. The 71 car not sounding all that flash. Corey Wilson, 2 to run. Car 1, Blake Iwanow leads. Back to Brandon Sharp. Cuts in third place. Then Blake Skerry in fourth place. No change in the order as the white flag's about to come out in heat number 4 of the Wingless Sprints here tonight in Collie. Yellow lights have come on. Blake Skerry has spun the model up in Palmer's Corner. And we'll have a green-white checkered flag finish. As we go green around the cone, back to Stockdale and Skerry. And back then to Corey Wilson at the tail of the field. Our race leader heads up into turn number 3. Blake Iwanow comes up for the white flag. 1 to run. Sharp in second place. Third place is still Cuts. Then Stockdale. Then Skerry. And then the 71 of Corey Wilson. That's probably the way they're going to finish here in heat number 4 of the Wingless. First across the line is car number 1 of Blake Iwanow. Brandon Sharp is next. Kane Cuts is third in car 32. Up for fourth is Ben Stockdale in 26. Blake Skerry in 76 is next. Corey Wilson is 6th. And David Worrell in 31 did not finish. That's heat number 4 of the Wingless here tonight. Yellow lights flashing. If you're playing along, this is event number 19. And be followed by heat 6 of the Wingless. This is heat 5, Memphis Knowles on pole. Green lights come on. Gets a good start. Humphrey goes into second place. And Travis Armstrong into third. Warren Hunter on the outside of them as they run out of turn number 1 and 2. Tom Britton goes into fourth. Hunter goes back to 6th place now as Matt Iwanow goes up to 5th. Now comes around the outside of Tom Britton as they make their way out of Palmer's Corner into the main straight. Knowles leads. Second place is Darren Humphrey. Back to Travis Armstrong in third. Tom Britton 4th. Matt Iwanow runs in 5th place. Back then to Warren Hunter in 6th. Then Jeff Underdown and Jason Palaciotti. Out of Palmer's Corner they come to complete lap number 2 of 8 here. Heat number 5 of the Wingless. The race leader is Memphis Knowles. Second place the 84 of Darren Humphrey. Still in third place down low on the racetrack is Travis Armstrong. Tommy Britton under pressure. It's the West Australian champion looms up on the outside. Can't get it done. Oh, Britton jumped up over the curb I think. Leapt up in the air. He's going to lose the spot to Iwanow. So they run side by side down into turn number 1. In fact, he doesn't lose a spot. Britton back around the outside and retains 4th place. Iwanow back to 5th. Hunter in 6th place. Ivanhoe again has a look up on the outside. As we go back to our leaders, it's still Memphis Knowles. This is some sort of a comeback after rolling over right there in the opening heat race. Back in second place, it is Darren Humphrey. Back in third position, still Travis Armstrong, then Tommy Britton. Fifth place is Matt Ivanhoe. There's a bit of a bump there, and that's just sent Knowles offline. Humphrey takes the lead. Knowles back to second. Travis Armstrong third. Britton fourth, and back in fifth place is the three of Matt Ivanhoe. So go up into turn number 3 yet again. Just a bit of a bump developing in the entry to turn number 3. Sending a couple offline every now and then. Laps ticking by, 5 down, or is it 6 down? 6 down, 2 to go. And Darren Humphrey driving away now from Memphis Knowles. Back in third place, Travis Armstrong, then Tom Britton. Back in fifth place is Matt Ivanhoe as the white flag comes out, 1 to run. 84, Darren Humphrey, a race leader. Back in second place, the 70 car of Memphis Knowles, then Travis Armstrong. Fourth place, Tom Britton. And behind them, it is Matt Ivanhoe. And no doubt about our race leader. Here becomes the race winner, car number 84. Darren Humphrey first across the line. Great recovery by Memphis Knowles over being Tommy tip over in the first heat. He finishes second. Travis Armstrong is third. Tom Britton is next in car number 7. Matt Ivanhoe is fifth. The blanket go for 6. Warren Hunter got there from Jeff Underdown. And last to complete the distance is Jason Pelliciotti in car number 63. The win goes to car number 84, Darren Humphrey, in heat number 5 of the Wingless here tonight. 37 of Jordan Johnson and Robbie Clark in the 34 on our front row here for the final qualifying heat of the Wingless. Paul Green is on row number 2. And with him is James Bissicker, I think. Kurt McCain is certainly on row number 3. And Matt Fitzgerald is out there in the 22. Car would not start earlier on tonight, so he needs some big points in this one. 6 cars, 8 laps. Heat 6 of the Wingless. Green lights come on, away we go. Good start on the outside for Robbie Clark. Jordan Johnson though on the inside may just hold the lead. No, Clark swings around and takes the lead. Bissiger back in third place. Paul Green, Matt Fitzgerald and Kurt McCain. McCain makes up a spot, goes up into 5th place. So come out of Palmer's corner to complete lap number 2. Well, the car in third place, James Bissiger, just got filled in by Jordan Johnson, who went up and over the curb and just gave him a good old bit of Collie dirt for his trouble. And Jordan Johnson runs wide out of turn number 2 and loses another spot, this time to Matt Fitzgerald. So come into the main straight. Our race leader is the 34 of Robbie Clark. Back then to James Bissiger. Third place is Matt Fitzgerald. Kurt McCain in the white car is 4th. Back to Jordan Johnson and Paul Green, who's last of the 6. The race is for the lead as they come out of turn 3 and 4. As Paul Johnson does a spin at the back of the field. Sorry, not Paul Johnson, Paul Green. He's just trying to get mobile now. He does. And we've gone yellow. Robbie Clark leads this one from James Bissiger and Matt Fitzgerald. This is heat 6 of the Wingless. So get ready for the restart in heat 6. Robbie Clark leads. Green lights come on. James Bissiger and Matt Fitzgerald runs second and third. Around the cone we come. Kurt McCain is next. Back then to Jordan Johnson. And last of the 6 is Paul Green. As it's getting a little bit dusty down there in turn 1 and 2 particularly, as they head up into turn 3 and 4. Paul Green has disappeared, comes out a different shade of colour, and that dust is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to sit there like a London fog, and they're going to have to drive through it into the main straight. Out they come the other side. It's slowly making its way towards the spectators as Paul Green has dug up the infield and has come out a lighter shade of green down there. It just will not move, that fog. It's the 34 of Clark leads Bissiger. Johnson back then to Matt Fitzgerald, Kurt McCain and Paul Green. change maybe for the lead here. Side by side out of 4 to the white flag. Bissiger has hit the front. Clark goes back to second place. Back in third place, it's still Jordan Johnson, Matt Fitzgerald, and Paul Green is having a horror. Checkered flag is coming out. James Bissiger is going to be first home. Second goes to the 34 of Robbie Clark. Then Jordan Johnson, Matt Fitzgerald, Kurt McCain, and Paul Green in 66. It's one thing to water the racetrack, but we can't water all of the infield. And when Paul Green does a 360 with Pike on the infield, and that dust is still clearing. Aside for the restart. 9 rows of 2 and 1 at the very back. James Bissiger and Tom Britton lead them to the green. Chief Stewart says go. Away we go now. Tom Britton on the outside. Got the best of the start. As we go green. And down the back straight we run. David Worrell, a retiree, so we're down to 18. All the leaders stopped and propped, which has caused a concertina effect. Bissiger, Britton, back then to Brandon Sharp, then Darren Humphrey. 4th place. And then Travis Armstrong is next. So starting to sort themselves out. Out of turn number 4, James Bissiger leads from Britton. Back in 3rd place. Brandon Sharp, Darren Humphrey, Travis Armstrong, Matt Iwanow up there in 6th place. And back then behind them is Blake Iwanow and Jordan Johnson in the first 8. Out of turn number 4 they come into the main straight. James Bissiger leads. Back to Tom Britton in 2nd. Brandon Sharp, Darren Humphrey as they move out of turn number 2 and back down the back straight. James Bissiger has a 0.7 of a second gap as they come down the main straight and complete lap number 4. Britton is 2nd, Sharp 3rd, Humphrey 4th. No one making a move at this stage on a slick racetrack. Back in 5th place, Travis Armstrong, then Matt Iwanow as they come out of turn number 4, back down the main straight to complete lap number 5. Our race leader is James Bissiger from Tom Britton. Back in 3rd place, still Brandon Sharp, then Darren Humphrey. It's a freight train of Wingless at the moment. They're going to come up on the 71 car, which is Corey Wilson, who's in 17th. They'll have to lap him in a moment. James Bissiger continues to lead this one. Tommy Britton, Brandon Sharp and Darren Humphrey close together for 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. As they come out of 3 and 4, Britton is out off the curb. Sharp looks to the inside, trying to get a move done. Britton shuts the gate. Now they haven't got past the back marker yet. And Bissiger leads, gets around him now. 2nd, 3rd and 4th are going to come up on Wilson in the corner. And which way? They're going to have to go the outside, which they're doing now. So Britton gets around. So too Sharp. So too does Humphrey. Travis Armstrong is in 5th place behind that lap car. He gets through. We've got a car spun up there in the turn number 4, right on the curb. Surely the yellows will come on. They have. 12 laps remain. Oh no, we're going green. Bissiger leads Tom Britton. Back in 3rd is Brandon Sharp as they run down the back straight. Then Darren Humphrey and Travis Armstrong as they come out of turns 3 and 4 back into the main straight. Bissiger, Britton, Sharp, all on the low line. In fact, everybody is, let's be honest. As they run down the back straight, Travis Armstrong, Matt Iwanow in 6th. And in 7th place, it would be Blake Iwanow, gap to Jordan Johnson as we come up to the halfway mark. Oops, this car spun up there. We've gone yellow. It's Paul Green in the 66. Who's up against the concrete wall, didn't hit it, just spun. And James Bissiger this season's got a 17th that did not start and a 6th in the 3 feature races he's contested. He's in uncharted waters. We're about to go back under green conditions with 11 to go. We are green once again as they come out of turn number 4 around the cone. '71 at the back, Corey Wilson, certainly not on all cylinders, that's for sure and certain. He's putting around at the back, making a lot of noise as our race leader comes down the main straight. Bissica leads, Britton, then Sharp, then Humphrey, then Armstrong. Been no change, very hard to pass unfortunately after the Legend Car main event took quite some period of time. And it's a dry, slick racetrack as you can see. Past the halfway mark, 9 to go. Bissica still out in front from Tom Britton in second place. Brandon Sharp is third. Fourth place is Darren Humphrey, then Travis Armstrong. As we come out of Palmer's Corner, and Corey Wilson in the 71 does pull the car to the infield. So James Bissica continues to lead this one with 8 to go, and he's getting away from Tom Britton. Brandon Sharp still in third place, and behind him is Darren Humphrey. A gap of 3 car lengths back then to Travis Armstrong, Matt Iwanow and Blake Iwanow as they move down the main straight with 13 down and 7 remaining. And it's very close now between second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. But our race leader has a handy 1.1 second advantage. Does James Bissica. Into the main straight he comes. The 13 car continues to lead with 6 to go. Back in second is Tom Britton. Brandon Sharp, then Darren Humphrey. Fifth place is Travis Armstrong, Matt Iwanow, Blake Iwanow. That's the first 7. And fourth has got away from fifth, if that makes any sense. It's a gap now with 5 to run. Behind the Iwanows, the main body of the field from 8th backwards is led by Jordan Johnson, Robbie Clark, then Kane Cutts, Blake Skerry's 11th, Benny Stockdale 12th, then Jeff Underdown, Warren Hunter, Matt Fitzgerald and Paul Green. Down the main straight, 4 to go. James Bissica, Tom Britton. Back in third place, Brandon Sharp. Then Darren Humphrey. That's the first 4. But James Bissica looks a surefire thing at the moment. 3 to run. Moves down the main straight. Tom Britton in second place. Sharp third and Humphrey fourth. A gap back then to Travis Armstrong and Matt Iwanow, Blake Iwanow after that. So James Bissica has 2 to go before recording his first feature race win, and by far and away the best result he's had this season. White flag to come out this time around. He's driving away from Tom Britton and Brandon Sharp. Sharp momentarily had a look to the outside, which is about as far as anyone's gone off the track in this race. There's the white one, 1 to go. Britton, Sharp, and then back to Humphrey. Travis Armstrong, Matt Iwanow, Blake Iwanow. But James Bissica is about to record his first win of the season, and a big one it is too. He's very happy. Second home is Britton, Sharp third, then back to Humphrey fourth. Armstrong, then a pair of Iwanows. Matt and Blake, Jordan Johnson, Robbie Clark. Back then to Kane Cutts in 10th, Blake Skerry, Ben Stockdale. Back to Jeff Underdown, Matt Fitzgerald, Warren Hunter and Paul Green. But as I said in the call, this is the biggest win of the 13 of James Bissica's season by a long, long way. His best result previous to this was a 6th back in November. He had a did not start on a fast Friday, also in November, and his only other result was a 17th at the Westernapolis in Perth back in October. So this is a big result for James Bissica in winning the lucky last from Tom Britton and Brandon Sharp. As he comes into the main straight, put your hands together for him. What do you call that? That's 1,080. That's a 1440. He does four donuts. But he's very happy, and well, he might be. He's by far and away his best result this season, and he hasn't won a race at all this year, and he's gone out and won the feature race. So well done to James Bissiger winning the Lucky last year at Collie. It was trying conditions in the end. It was a very long race, and the Legend Car feature that was. He's out of the car, he's got the checkered flag, he's pretty happy. Put your hands together for him. James Bissiger wins the Lucky last here in Collie tonight. And he's thrown the checkered flag into the abyss.